Other people up on the mic, Senator Hansen, say, well, what do you think the minimum wage should be? What should it be then? It doesn't matter. It has no bearing or relevance to this conversation other than you're just helping to take it 8 hours. While Senator Raybould asked us to shed a tear for the closure of the Hooters chains as a reason to pass this bill, it has no correlation to Nebraska's minimum wage. And she just wants us to forget the young people working at her store. None of these businesses she brought up, which were bought by private equity, by the way, and are not small businesses, have anything to do with Nebraska's minimum wage. Nothing. The voters of Nebraska already made their decision, and our only job now is to respect it. One of our colleagues, I won't say who, was saying, you know, it's really a lot to do this twice in 1 week. This meaning, you know, pass bills that overturn the will of the voters. First with the, you know, the modest but meaningful, as Senator Conrad says, increase to paid leave, and now a modest but meaningful increase to the minimum wage, which the voters voted for by a landslide. The legislature is not above the people. We exist to serve them, and when the people speak clearly, as they did on the ballot, we are duty-bound to listen. The Nebraskans that voted to raise the minimum wage. They voted for a specific dollar amount, for a timeline, and they voted for those increases to be tied to the cost of living so that the law can keep pace with economic reality. There were no carve-outs, there were no exclusions, there was no fine print. That's it. The end. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what I think the minimum wage should be. Doesn't matter what happened in other states. Doesn't matter what Hooters is doing. This is all distraction from the point. And Senator Hansen, numerous people who have been speaking in support of this bill, the time for you to make these points about economic theories, about fair wages, about what other states do, was before the ballot initiative. How much money was spent to oppose the ballot initiative? Where were you guys knocking doors and handing out flyers and getting people to sign, you know, competing measures? There was no effort put into defeating the initiative that was meaningful. So what they want to do instead is turn around, you know, the business, you know, community, the people who support overturning the will of the people, they know that they've got stooges in the legislature who will undo all of it. You know, you can compare it to the abortion ballot initiative. We had one that would protect the right to abortion. We had one that would ban abortion, and the ban won. Now, if the legislature was a little different, maybe we'd be working in here to undo that, but that's not going to happen. You cannot pick and choose what you're okay with the voters doing based on how it serves your personal business interests. And I have never seen such a blatant, bald-faced, self-serving, self-dealing, selfish, unethical example of self-dealing as this bill in the legislature, openly. The people did not vote to create a second-tier wage for people. They did not vote for young people to be paid less. Should we have an amendment to say that older people should be paid less? You can make all the same kinds of arguments about why they're worth less money to the labor market, but no one is making those arguments because nobody wants to discriminate against older people, just younger people. Voters didn't vote to cap future increases at an arbitrary number below inflation. And they didn't vote to hand this body the authority to water down their decision, no matter what Senator Raybould says. This bill overrides the public. It does not improve policy. It second guesses the electorate. It's insulting, it's self-dealing, and it's unethical. Thank you, Mr. President.